Hi guys, so this is second lecture of Foundations of International Business. So before I start, just a brief introduction about myself. So I'm Sandhya Rao, working as an assistant professor at St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management. So in the last lecture, we talked about the brief introduction about what business is and what are the different forms of business. So in this lecture, we're going to talk about what exactly the international business is about. Okay. So now that you have understand or you have understood what business is, now what is this international term? Okay, why is it why people are going international for doing business? What is it, and what are the benefits of it? So we're going to talk about that in this lecture. So before I start, I want to start with a video. I wanted to show a video. So let's just see the. Alright, so you could all see this video now. Alright, so in this video, we have just seen that there are people who are getting things from abroad. We are getting things from Canada, we are getting things from Thailand, we are getting things from China also. There was a toy shop in US, and wherein the toys have been shipped from China. And there was a plane which was being shipped from US to Japan. So what all this exercise is, it's all international business. International business have been possible because of the globalization, because more and more industries have been coming together, the cultures have been integrating, and with the growing trade relations between the countries, between the different nations, international trade have become possible. So international business have become possible. And if I give you an example, if you check the label of most of the things that you're using at your home, either they are made in China, or they're made in Japan, or they're made in Korea. So what is this all about? It just means that we are having the goods and services which are being made in other countries, and we are using them over here. We are not actually going there and buying the things, but those things are coming to us. Likewise, our products are also going to other countries, and people are consuming our goods and services. So this is what we call international business. When there's a exchange of goods and services between different countries, between different nations. And how has it become possible? It all have become possible because of globalization, because we are becoming more and more dependent upon the other economies. The different nations are becoming dependent upon each other. So it's the interdependent nature of the world economies that have made the international business possible. Okay, so this is nothing but when the world's economies, the world's culture and population brought about by the cross border trade in goods and services. Okay, so when because of this growing trade between growing trade of goods and services between the countries have made the interdependence of culture of economies possible. Okay, and also we have seen that when international business is happening, when international trade is happening, we are getting more access to international markets, we are getting more and more goods and services. Okay, uh, in the absence of international business, we are only left with the domestic production, with the domestic output. Whatever is being produced in our domestic boundaries, we are supposed to buy that only, and we our demands needs to be satisfied by those goods and services only. But being a rational consumer, and we have this right to that, we can consume more, we can wish for a higher quality product, and it depends on us whether we want to buy a certain product or not. So that is why international business have become possible, because the economies, the government have understood that it's not good thing to protect the economies. There should be a healthy competition. For how long are you going to protect your domestic organizations, your domestic industries? There will be a time, if they are not sufficient, if they are not efficient enough, they will have to go out of the market. So that is why economies have understood this, and they felt that there is a need of growing international trade. And that is why international business has become possible. So this is just a brief history about it, that how it started. And if I talk about India, then in India it all started after the LPG policy, which or the industrial revolution, the industrial reforms that came in 1991. So, starting with what international business is all about, it means whatever business activities are done across the national borders is known as international business. तो जो भी activities हो रही है, business activities, जब वो दूसरी countries के साथ होने लगती है, which are happening on the other country, in the other countries, हमारी countries के साथ साथ दूसरी countries में भी अगर हम कर रहे हैं, then that is international business. या तो हम वहाँ पे प्रोडक्शन कर रहे हैं और सेल अपनी कंट्री में कर रहे हैं, और वी कैन डू इट दी अदर वे राउंड कि हम प्रोड्यूस अपनी कंट्री में कर रहे हैं, सेल बाहर की कंट्रीज में कर रहे हैं. तो इट इज ऑल अ पार्ट ऑफ इंटरनेशनल बिजनेस. सो द इंटरनेशनल बिजनेस इज द परचेजिंग एंड सेलिंग ऑफ द गुड्स, कमोडिटीज एंड सर्विसेज आउटसाइड इट्स नेशनल बॉर्डर. चाहे वो सर्विसेज हो या गुड्स हो, जो भी चीजें हैं जो हम प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं, इफ वी आर सेलिंग इट और वी आर बाइंग इट फ्रॉम अदर कंट्रीज, देन इट इज इंटरनेशनल बिजनेस. Now, these are some of the features of international business that we're going to talk about. Starting with large scale operations. See, obviously, when you are trying to go international, then the scale of operation is going to increase. Earlier, your scale of production was limited to domestic boundaries. अभी आप सिर्फ अपनी countries में produce कर रहे थे, अपनी countries में ही consume कर रहे थे. But now that you're going to sell your products in the international markets, the scale of operations will definitely increase. आपका market size भी increase होगा, आपकी जो production है, आपका जो output है, आपकी जो भी एक्टिविटीज है वो डेफिनेटली इंक्रीज होंगी. एंड दैट विल आल्सो गिव यू एन एडवांटेज ऑफ लार्ज स्केल ऑपरेशंस की वजह से आपको इकोनॉमीज ऑफ स्केल का भी बेनिफिट मिलेगा. सो दिस इज वन ऑफ द फीचर्स ऑफ इंटरनेशनल बिजनेस. The next thing is integration of many world economies. Abhi in that video we have seen that when the person was going to the grocery shop, wo jab wo apne vegetables वगैरह खरीद रहे थे, so you have seen that वहाँ से जो एक tomato था that had come from Mexico, the other thing was from Spain, and some other things were from Canada. तो ये अलग अलग जगह से जो उसको चीजें मिल रही थी, some certain things were from Japan. तो ये क्या है? This is what इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमीज. ठीक है, अभी अगर फॉर एग्जांपल इफ यू आर यूजिंग एनी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक प्रोडक्ट, तो वो सारी जरूरी नहीं है कि वो सारी चीजें एक ही कंट्री में बनाई गई हो. इट्स पॉसिबल कि मे बी उसके पार्ट्स जो है वो असेंबल किए गए हों, एंड हर डिफरेंट डिफरेंट पार्ट्स को अलग अलग कंट्रीज में प्रोड्यूस किया गया. ओके, एंड दिस हैपेंस इन मोस्ट ऑफ द ऑटोमोबाइल इंडस्ट्रीज, दैट tires will be manufactured in some other countries, then the glass will be manufactured in some other country, and there will be another industry in some other country who will be assembling all these products and selling it under its own brand. So this is what we are trying to integrate the world economies. Okay, so this is integration of the world economies. So they are made in some other country and they are consumed in some other country. They are being financed by some other country. So this is integration of world economies. And the next very important feature of international business is healthy competition. We all know that there is healthy competition when there are more and more sellers in the market. Because if there is only one person, the monopoly will be there, and he won't be very efficient in the production. Also, he will try to manipulate the consumers. He will try to exploit the consumers. So it is always better to have a healthy competition, because in that case you will not be exploiting the consumers. आप ज़्यादा ना तो price charge कर सकते हो, ना ही आप अपनी quality के standards को degrade कर सकते हो. तो that is why uh, when you go international, the healthy competition will come up, and it's always good for the consumers as well as the producers, because in that case there won't be any case of supernormal profits, एंड ऑल्सो देयर वोंट बी एनी केस ऑफ एबनॉर्मल लॉसेस. ठीक है, तो ना तो आपको ज्यादा बहुत ज्यादा लॉसेस होंगे, ना ही आप बहुत ज्यादा सुपर नॉर्मल प्रॉफिट्स अर्न करोगे. यू विल बी ऑपरेटिंग ऑन द ऑप्टिमम लेवल. जो आपके नॉर्मल प्रॉफिट्स होते हैं वो आप अर्न करेंगे. Second thing is, for the consumers, they will have more options available with them, choose from. Okay, and they will decide whether the company or this particular producer should stay in the market or not. Okay, अगर उनको लगता है that if their producer is providing them with a quality product, they will definitely buy the product, and they will decide the future of the producers. So that is why a healthy competition is good for any company. The next thing is advent of new technology. See, it's very important that when we are increasing the international business, we are letting the new technology come into our country. So let's say अभी जो recently जो भी आपके pacts वगैरह हुए हैं, जो भी अभी recently जो agreements हुए हैं, for example, if I talk about the recent um, जो आपका वेंचर हुआ है बिटवीन द फेसबुक एंड जियो, रिलायंस जियो, तो वो क्या है? इट्स ऑल अबाउट आपकी नई टेक्नोलॉजीज को इंटीग्रेट किया जाएगा. जो आपका फेसबुक विच इज सच अ ह्यूज जायंट, सोशल मीडिया जायंट है, एंड इंडिया के अंदर जो आपका रिलायंस जियो है, विच इज अगेन अ वेरी मेजर प्लेयर हु इज ड्राइविंग द एंटायर इकोनॉमी. तो ये दोनों जब मिल जाएंगे तो देयर विल बी a new revolution and industrial revolution in the country. So you could see that टेक्नोलॉजी के आने से बहुत सारा जो एक्सेस है, जो बहुत सारे एवेन्यूज हैं, वो ओपन अप हो जाते हैं. डेफिनेटली देयर विल बी मोर एम्प्लॉयमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटीज फॉर द पीपल ऑफ द कंट्री. देन ऑल्सो देयर विल बी इम्प्रूव्ड स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ लिविंग, बिकॉज टेक्नोलॉजी ऑलवेज raises the standard of living. ठीक है, वो आपकी लाइफ को इजी बनाता है. It always raises the bar of the standard of living. So that is why technology is always good for any economy. ठीक है, आपका काम जो है वो सिंपल होगा, आप efficient हो जाओगे. So it's a good thing. The next thing is benefits to the participating countries. See, it's always good that, और दूसरी चीज आपके पास FDI आएगा. जब कोई कंट्री आपकी कंट्री के अंदर आती है, दूसरी कंट्री इन्वेस्ट करती है, it brings a lot of FDI. ठीक है, फॉरेन इकोनॉमी, फॉरेन फंड्स जो हैं वो आपकी कंट्री में आते हैं. तो it helps your economy to grow. Also, they will generate more employment. अगर वो आपकी कंट्री में आके they are setting up a new plant, the new production sites, then obviously they will be needing workers, right? They won't be bringing people from their own country. उन सबको तो लेकर नहीं आएंगे to run the company. Obviously they will be hiring people from their from the host country itself. So that is why it will generate new employment opportunities as well. So it's a benefit for the participating countries. Second is that the economy will also flourish because FDI will be infused into your country. FDI will be injected into your country. There are many other benefits as well, that you will be in a better position to understand their culture and what are their language, and there will be more also your trade relations will improve, and your political relations will also improve with such kind of activities. So it's always beneficial, and it's always a good idea to to go for international business, because it helps your economy. So this is all about the features, and these are the questions that you're going to do. So you're going to explain what are the characteristics of international business, and how has India transformed its international business after the independence. So before this, I would just like to brief you about it. So India has actually transformed its international business policies after the 1991 industrial reforms. So in 1991, when we had those LPG reforms, L stands for liberalization, P stands for privatization, and G stands for globalization. So when that actually came into being, we have removed most of the trade barriers. Before that, after independence, we were a closed economy, and we were not allowing international markets to enter our country, because we wanted to protect the domestic players, because we wanted to we wanted to let our industrial sector grow. We wanted to protect our domestic country industry, especially the small scale industries, if I talk about. the handicraft industries and all these cottage industries. We wanted to protect them. So in order to do that, we imposed a lot of barriers on international markets so that their products will become very costly, and the people of India will won't be in a position to buy those expensive products. So, but later on, when we felt that our international debts or our public debt is constantly increasing, and we are running into deficits. So we felt, and when also we consulted the WTO and World Bank, so they gave us this advice that you should remove your trade barriers and you should allow the international markets to come into your country, and that won't hamper your growth or your that won't affect your industrial sector, but that will in fact help them to boost themselves. Okay, that will help to boost their performance also. Because what happens is when there is a competition in the market now, you automatically tend to become more conscious and you become more effective and efficient. If I feel that there is nobody to see me and I'm the only player, I will do everything according to myself. ठीक है, monopoly रहेगी पूरी और मेरे को full autonomy रहेगी, and I will try to exploit the things. But when I feel that there is someone else in the market and there is a chance that you will take away the share from me, in that case I will be more conscious and I will do my work more effectively and efficiently. So that is why India also felt that we should remove our trade barriers. So that is why the reforms of 1991 came into being, and that is when the international business started happening with India. So this is just a brief introduction. You will have to go into more detail. You should study about it so that you will be in a better position to understand what we are going to study in subsequent lectures. All right, guys. Thank you. I hope you have understood this lecture. And if you have any doubt, you can ask me, and we can take up your queries in the next lectures. Thank you.